How's it going? It's Tommy G here with another 5 Things I Learned video. We've had a lot going on. It's very exciting, so let's get right into it. Number 1, filming days are amazing. Now, we haven't had a filming day like this for quite some time, whether it's been lockdowns, restrictions, or whether it's just that we've focused on other areas of our services. We haven't had the chance to get out there as a team and spend a half a day with a client on location filming assets for their social media and their website. Well, last week we were very privileged to be able to spend the time with Abacus Motorhomes and to capture some really exciting drone footage, as well as some social media content that we're able to capture on the ground level. So when it comes to drone footage, you actually need a license for these things now. So we're lucky that we have a great network of trusted professionals that we can use for specialist projects like this one. And so we called in Simon Scholes to come and help us to capture these videos through his drone. So really cool. So the drone flew up really high. We got some great shots like following the motorhome as it drove from one site to the next. And we also got to see some really great aerial shots of the whole plot that they've got there at Abacus. It's really quite impressive what they've built. So that was great, and it's just a great energy, a great vibe. Matt was there, Kendall was there, and we also had Tom, who is our new Kickstarter, and that leads me on to point number 2. Point number 2, things that we learned last week. The Kickstart scheme is back in, and it's in full force here at Type 55. We've had our second Kickstarter start with us. Previously, we had Charlie. He finished his time with us and went and got a full-time job elsewhere in a different industry. The Kickstart scheme is about taking somebody who is looking to gain experience and earn some money, and it's funded by the government for this young person to come in and spend up to 6 months here with us learning about what we do so that they can become more employable and be in a better position after the 6-month period. It's a great scheme. If you're an employer, you should definitely look into it. And we took on Tom as our newest recruit, and he had a fantastic week with us in his first week. I'm really excited to see how he beds himself into the things that we do here. The expectations are initially very low. We just want him to learn, grow, and enjoy finding his feet in this digital marketing space. So full force, full steam ahead. Looking forward to introducing you guys to Tom in future vlogs as well. So point number 3, face-to-face meetings hold a lot of value. We had a face-to-face meeting with a client that we have had for 3 months now, but we have never been in the same room as. We've never met them face-to-face. And that's because they're slightly further away from us here at HQ, but also with the Zoom generation, we haven't really needed to do that. However, face-to-face meetings hold a lot of value. They are highly recommended. We like to touch base with our clients face-to-face as often as we can and as appropriately as we can. And in this case, it was really beneficial, really useful for Kendall and I to go and visit Jason and Mark from Safe Hands Bookkeeping and get a feel for where they're at, what they want us to be able to help them with over the next 3 to 6 months and beyond, and really get to sit down face to face. I think there's a lot of value there to be there with human beings interacting in a really organic way, and it's highly recommended. So as much as you can, if you are a business owner, make sure that you can get out there and spend time with people, whether it's prospects or customers and clients face to face. The 4th thing that I learned last week is the reinforcing of this really important point, which is that there is a great amount of responsibility anytime a new client comes on board. First of all, we never take any client for granted, and we always treat new clients with a level of care and respect that they deserve when going into a business transaction and start of a new professional relationship. And we have taken on a handful of new clients recently, and it's important to pay them the level of respect that the whole situation deserves. Now, we're building a business and we're ultimately representing our clients' businesses every time we produce content, every time we run campaigns for them. And being a business owner now for over a decade, I know that that's not an easy thing to just give somebody. There's a lot of trust involved there. And so I like to remind myself and the team about the responsibility that we hold as part of their team, as their digital marketing agency, every time we take on a new client, a new company. We have the logos of all our clients up here on the wall, and every time I look at that, I feel a great sense of pride and a great sense of responsibility. So whenever we add a new one to the mix, I just like to take that time to reflect on that, never take it for granted, and always sit there in the moment and just really appreciate what that means. So thank you to our clients, especially our new ones that I'm talking to directly here, for trusting in Tide 55. We're doing our best now to serve you on our expectations and our deliverables, and we're going to do our utmost to hold your company and your brand in the highest regard moving forward. And you know what? That leads me on to point number 5 things I learned last week, and that is that we have a specific plan here as a company, and you know what? We're nearly there. For those of you that have been watching closely, this started in a garage in lockdown as just an idea of what might work next in my life. There wasn't a lot going on. In fact, everything that was going on was going south. There wasn't a lot of good stuff there. It was very problematic and worrying at times as to how I was going to keep my businesses afloat and ultimately keep food on the table and pay my mortgage. Not being dramatic, that was the situation. And so being here now, it's almost there. And we're not taking anything for granted here, but we've got a fantastic lineup of clients that we're working with. We're doing good work in areas that we know we are strong. And that hasn't been something we've learned easily or quickly. We've had to get in there in the trenches and figure that out by just doing. So any advice to anyone that's starting a company or is in a new company in the hot seat as a CEO or the director, you've got to get in there and you've got to get amongst it. That's the only way that you figure these things out quickly in order to back yourself in the areas that you know you're strong and develop on the weaknesses should you need to in order to fulfill your expectations as a company. So I hope that helps, and I hope you've enjoyed this video here, staying accountable to you. This is Going with the Tide. I think it's episode number 5. 5 things that I learned last week as CEO of Tide 55. There's a lot of 5s there in that statement. See you again next time.